All right, to all my Jamaicans, all my family around the world, with this video, I want to get as much likes as possible and share it as many times as possible. Let's make it go viral. Today we celebrate Jamaica independence. First, let's begin with a little Jamaican history. The colony of Jamaica gained independence from the United Kingdom on August 6, 1962. In Jamaica, this date is celebrated as Independence Day, a national holiday. The Caribbean island, now known as Jamaica, was first settled by the Arawak and Taino people, who originated in neighboring South America. Genoan explorer Christopher Columbus arrived in Jamaica in 1498 during his second voyage to the New World and claimed it for the Crown of Castile. At this time, over 200 villages existed in Jamaica, primarily located on the south coast and ruled by caciques, or chiefs of villages. The first Africans to arrive in Jamaica came in 1513 from the Iberian Peninsula. When the British Empire captured Jamaica in 1655, many of them fought with the Spanish, who gave them their freedom, and then fled to the mountains, resisting the British for many years to maintain their freedom, becoming known as Maroons. The British brought with them mostly Igbo slaves, some of which ran away and joined with the Maroons, and even took over as leaders. These former Spanish slaves created 3 palenques, or settlements. Based on the Phoenix ship records, enslaved Africans mostly came from the Akan people, followed by Igbo, Yoruba, Congo, Fan people, and Ibibio people. Akan, then called Coromantee culture, was the dominant African culture in Jamaica. Jamaican enslaved peoples came from West Africa or Central and Southeast Africa. Many of their customs survived based on memory and myths. They included forms of religion in which healing was considered an act of faith completed by obeah, and communication with the spirits involved possession, often induced by dancing and drumming. African-based religions include Mayal and Revival, and later Kumina from Congolese immigrants. Many involve recreational, ceremonial, and functional use of music and dance. They recreated African musical instruments from materials found in Jamaica, such as calabash, conch, bamboo, etc., and featured improvisation in song and dance. Similarly, language, as in Africa, is considered powerful, particularly naming. Jamaicans today move between patois and creolized English and standard English. Jamaican patois was born from the intermixing of African slaves and English, Irish, Welsh, Scottish sailors, enslaved Africans, servants, soldiers, and merchants. The enslaved Africans spoke many dialects, and given the need for a common tongue, Jamaican patois was born. It has been in use since the end of the 17th century by Jamaicans of all ethnicities and has been added to by the Chinese, Hakka, Indians, Lebanese, Germans, and French who also settled on the island. Some words also indicate Spanish and Taino presence in Jamaican history. Jamaican patois contains many loanwords of African origin, a majority of those etymologically from the Gold Coast region, particularly of the Akan language of Ghana. Now let's talk about the flag. The flag of Jamaica was adopted on August 6, 1962, the country having gained independence from the British-protected Federation of the West Indies. The flag consists of a gold saltire, which divides the flag into 4 sections, 2 of them green, top and bottom, and 2 black, hoist and fly. It is currently the only national flag that does not contain the colors red, white, or blue. The present design emerged from those sent in by the public in a national competition. It was initially designed with horizontal stripes, but this was considered too similar to the flag of Tanganyika, as it was in 1962, only the yellow stripes were thinner, and so the saltire was substituted. An earlier interpretation of the colors was, "Hardships there are, but the land is green, and the sun shineth," as stated in the Government Ministry Paper 28, National Flag dated May 22, 1962. Gold recalls the shining sun, black reflects hardships, and the green represents the land. It was changed in 1996 to black, representing the strength and creativity of the people, which has allowed them to overcome difficulties. Gold represents the wealth of the country and the golden sunshine. Green represents the lush vegetation of the island, as well as hope. Now let's talk about the food. Ackee and saltfish is the Jamaican national dish prepared with ackee and salted codfish. This is my favorite food, so everybody watching, you can always give me some ackee and saltfish for every occasion. Look here now, as long as we don't bring the ackee and saltfish, everything all right. The ackee fruit is the national fruit of Jamaica. It was imported to the Caribbean from Ghana before 1725, as ackee or ackee is another name for the Akan people, Akiem. Because parts of the fruit are toxic, such as the arrows prior to the opening of the husk at the ripening stage, there are shipping restrictions when being imported to countries such as the United States. Salted codfish, on the other hand, was introduced to Jamaica for enslaved people as a long-lasting and inexpensive protein source. For those of you who eat meat, jerk is a style of cooking native to Jamaica, in which meat is dry rubbed or wet marinated with a hot spice mixture. Some historians believe Maroons originally developed it. Other historians argue that jerking originated with the Amerindians in Jamaica from the Arawak and Taino tribes who intermingled with the Maroons. Among the more common are jerk chicken and jerk pork. There are also other variants such as jerk tofu, fish, shrimp, shellfish, beef, sausage, lamb, goat, and vegetables. Them have something for everybody, in other words. For a complete list of Jamaican dishes, click the link below this video. Now, we move on to the national heroes. The Order of National Hero is an honor awarded by the government of Jamaica. It is a part of the Jamaican honor system that has been in place since 1969. Recipients are permitted to wear the insignia of the order, and they are given the style of the Right Excellent. They are also traditionally honored with a tomb or monument in National Heroes Park, as well as a plaque or shield displayed in some prominent national place, such as the Institute of Jamaica. The insignia of the Order of National Hero is a 14-pointed gold and white star centered on a black enameled medallion. So let's briefly review the national heroes. Number 1. Queen Nanny, Granny Nanny, or Nanny, was an 18th century leader of the Jamaican Maroons. She led a community of formerly enslaved Africans called the Windward Maroons. In the early 18th century, they fought a guerrilla war over many years against British authorities in the colony of Jamaica. According to Maroon legend, Queen Nanny was born in what is today Ghana of the Akan or Ashanti people. In 1976, Jamaica declared Nanny as their only female national hero, celebrating her success as a leader, military tactician, and strategist. Number 2. George William Gordon. He was a wealthy mixed-race Jamaican businessman, magistrate, and politician, one of 2 representatives to the Assembly from St. Thomas in the East Parish. He was a leading critic of the colonial government and the policies of Jamaican Governor Edward Eyre. After the start of the Morant Bay Rebellion in October 1865, Eyre declared martial law in that area, directed troops to suppress the rebellion, and ordered the arrest of Gordon in Kingston. In 1969, the Jamaican government proclaimed Gordon as a national hero of Jamaica. Number 3. Samuel Sharp. He was an enslaved Jamaican man who was the leader of the widespread 1832 Baptist War Slave Rebellion, also known as the Christmas Rebellion, in Jamaica. Samuel Sharp was born into enslavement in the parish of St. James, Jamaica, on a plantation owned by Samuel and Jane Sharp around 1805. He was proclaimed a national hero in Jamaica in 1975, and his image is on the $50 Jamaican banknote. Number 4. Paul Bogle. He was a Jamaican Baptist deacon and activist. He was a leader of the 1865 Morant Bay protesters who marched for justice and fair treatment for all the people in Jamaica. After leading the Morant Bay Rebellion, Bogle was captured by government troops, tried and convicted by British authorities under martial law. He was hanged on October 24, 1865, in the Morant Bay Courthouse. In 1969, Paul Bogle was named a national hero. Number 5. Marcus Garvey. He was a Jamaican political activist, publisher, journalist, entrepreneur, and orator. He was the founder and first President General of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communications League, or UNIA-ACL, commonly known as UNIA, through which he declared himself Provisional President of Africa. Ideologically, a black nationalist and Pan-Africanist, his ideas came to be known as Garveyism. He called race integration the race-destroying doctrine, and felt that the white race should uphold its racial pride and perpetuate itself, and that the black race should do likewise. Number 6. Norman Manley. He was a Jamaican statesman and was born to mixed-race parents in Roxborough in Jamaica's Manchester Parish and was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. Manley became one of Jamaica's leading lawyers in the 1920s. Manley was an advocate of universal suffrage, which was granted by the British colonial government to the colony in 1944. He helped to launch the People's National Party, which later was tied to the Trade Union Congress and even later the National Workers' Union. He led the PNP in every election from 1944 to 1967. Their efforts resulted in the new Constitution of 1944, granting full adult suffrage. In 1969, Norman Manley was named a national hero. The Palisadoes Airport was renamed Norman Manley International Airport in 1972. Number 7. Alexander Bustamante. He was a Jamaican politician and labor leader who, in 1962, became the first Prime Minister of Jamaica. He founded the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union following the 1938 labor riots and the Jamaican Labor Party in 1943. He was born as Alexander Clark to Mary Clark, a woman of mixed race, and her husband Robert Constantine Clark, an Irish Catholic planter in Blenheim, Hanover. He said that he took the surname Bustamante to honor a Spanish sea captain who adopted him in his early years and took him to Spain, where he was sent to school and later returned to Jamaica. In 1969, Alexander Bustamante was named a national hero. Now, Jamaica is a beautiful, enchanting place, and Jamaican culture has a strong global presence. The musical genres reggae, ska, mento, rocksteady, and dancehall all originated in the island's vibrant, popular urban recording industry. These genres have themselves gone on to influence numerous other genres such as punk rock, jungle, drum and bass, dubstep, and American rap music. Some rappers such as KRS-One, The Notorious B.I.G., Busta Rhymes, and Heavy D are of Jamaican descent. Bob Marley is probably the best-known Jamaican musician with his band, The Wailers. He had a string of hits in the 1960s to 1970s, popularizing reggae internationally and going on to sell millions of records. Sports are also an integral part of life in Jamaica, and the island's athletes tend to perform to a standard well above what might ordinarily be expected of such a small country. While the most popular local sport is cricket, on the international stage, Jamaicans have tended to do particularly well at track and field athletics. Over the past 6 decades, Jamaica has produced dozens of world-class sprinters, including Olympic and world champion Usain Bolt, world record holder in the 100-meter for men at 9.58 seconds, and 200-meter for men at 19.19 seconds. Jamaica has also produced several world-class amateur and professional boxers, including Trevor Berbick and Mike McCollum. First-generation Jamaican athletes have continued to make a significant impact on the sport internationally, especially in the United Kingdom and the United States, where the list of top boxers born in Jamaica or of Jamaican parents include Lloyd Hunnigan, Chris Eubank, Audley Harrison, David Hay, Lennox Lewis, Frank Bruno, Donovan Razor Ruddock, Mike Tyson, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now let's talk about a sport that most people would not associate with a tropical island. The Jamaica national bobsled team was once a serious contender in the Winter Olympics, beating many well-established teams. The team first gained fame during their debut in the 1988 Winter Olympic Games 4-man bobsled in Calgary, Alberta, where they were seen as underdogs as they represented a tropical nation in a winter sport. In the 1994 Winter Olympics, the Jamaican fourth sled stunned many of their critics by finishing in 14th place ahead of the United States, Russia, Australia, and France. In 2000, the Jamaican bobsleigh team won the gold medal at the World Push Championships in Monaco. Chess and basketball are also widely played in Jamaica and are supported by the Jamaican Chess Federation and the Jamaica Basketball Federation, respectively. I will end this with one of my favorite places to eat in Jamaica, Little Ochi. It is located on the beach in Alligator Pond and opened in 1989. No matter where you are in Jamaica, it is worth the travel to enjoy the food. This is truly some of the finest seafood sold in Jamaica. So I'm going to end this with some images of Little Ochi and the surrounding area. To all my Jamaican family around the world, happy Jamaica Independence.